Hey everybody! In this video I want to show you step by step how we created this shoe rack. The results are amazing and I assure you it will not take too long to build, so stay put to the end to learn more about it. The first step is to design the project. We use craftyamigo.com where we can see and modify this 3D model according to our needs. Also, this same tool will give you a list of parts of this specific project, and with this list, the hardest part is done. Make sure you always have this list close to you during the entire process, since it will be very useful during the next steps. Before we start, I would like to share some very important pieces of advice. Every time you decide to start your journey with projects like these, it's important to use high quality material. This will not only assure a beautiful final result for your project, but also a long useful product life. Now, returning to our first step, we will use the 2x2 inch lumber parts list that will be your guide. We will be marking the cutting guides on these profiles. Precision on these marks is crucial, so we suggest using a square and taking all the necessary time to double check and make sure your measurements are correct. Once you've finished marking your lumber, it's time to use your handsaw. It's vital that at this stage, security comes first. Make sure to protect your eyes and hands properly before you start cutting your lumber. And by following every mark you make on your lumber, we will cut each piece, so take your time to get it right. And once you have all your parts ready, we will move on to the next stage of this project, the exciting stage of assembling. The first step on this stage is marking each piece of lumber where all parts will be fixed using screws. At this point, make sure your skills for precise marking are activated. Calculating the distance between each part is crucial, so please take the time to perform this task. Once you have satisfactorily completed the step of marking these essential points, you move on to the next step where you will need a drill. Your first task will be to drill with precision the marks on the lumber, precisely where the screws will be placed on the steps ahead. Using the right bit is crucial for achieving optimal results. We recommend using the correct bit based on the type of wood you're working on and the size of screws you'll be placing. At this point, we are working with 2x2 inch profiles with a length of 44.5 inch. We will drill mark by mark that we did on the lumber, and little by little you'll see how this project is coming together. After you finish drilling the profiles of 44.5 inch, you'll grab the 2x2 inch profiles with a length of 13 inch and fix them onto the longest profiles. For this task, we will be using 2.5 inch screws for the wood. The importance of drilling the marks is so that the screws can penetrate the wood easily and with precision. If you skip this step, it will complicate things. In this step, we will focus on assembling the main frame of the project. Each frame is made of 2x2 inch profiles, 2 of them of 44.5 inch and 4 of them of 13 inch. The smallest profiles will be distributed evenly, and I recommend leaning on the 3D model so you can keep in mind the distance between each profile. The process of marking, drilling, and screwing is probably the longest step for this project. I highly recommend you enjoy the process. Once you have finished screwing each part, the frames should look like this. Now, let's prepare the boards that will be the grill for each level. For this stage, we will be working with a 4 inch board with a length of 35 inch. We will grab each piece of lumber, and similar to the first step, we will mark all the cutting lines and then cut every piece of lumber. We will need a total of 12 parts, so be patient, but overall, very precise. Once you have all your profiles completely cut and organized, we will move on to the last step of our project. For this step, we will lean on the 2-inch nails for the wood. The process is simple. We will slightly nail 2-inch nails to each piece of lumber to speed up the process. And once you have all the lumber ready, we will place them in the main frames that we assembled at the beginning of this project. These frames will be joined together by the boards and will be the laterals of our project. This process will take time, so please follow these steps. Once you're done with each level, you'll start to see your shoe rack. Take extra care placing each lumber evenly on the grill so they look symmetrical once you're done. The assembling order is very simple. We will start by placing each grill, starting with the lower grill and finishing with the higher one. Once you reach the top grill, you'll be almost done. Once the last grill is done, your shoe rack will look like this. How do you feel about this? Did you enjoy the process as much as we did? The final result was incredible. If you wish to make your own shoe rack, visit craftyamigo.com for more information. Here, you'll find free plans for this wooden shoe rack and other projects. The 3D tool can also be used here to adjust the model or create a new one. And this will also give you a list of parts with the measurements you assign to your 3D model. Amazing, right? Thanks for watching this video.